Greetings, welcome to Ceremony, Meditation, and Magic.
That's a good.
Sounds
like a fun one.
I am so excited. I am Aaron Pine. I'm so excited I'm Aaron Pine.
I'm so excited that you're Aaron Pine.
My dear friend here, sister, Starlight Being Angel,
Thank you.
Marci Lock, Sundari, alchemist, and activator of light. She goes by alchemist of light. I threw an activator there.
Because I do activate a lot of things
activate.
on the planet, that's for sure.
Does.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to be here in her beautiful space in Bali on my Bali adventure. So, Marci and I met like a year ago.
It's so divine family,
Right.
of course, so contracts, but it's probably just been, has it been over a year? A little bit over a year, maybe?
Over a year, yeah.
Yeah, other than he was at an event that I spoke at.
That's true, yeah.
And
up on stage.
Later was like, I just sat there in awe, and I'm like, I didn't know that one of my divine besties was in the audience. So.
We didn't get to connect till like several months later.
Yeah.
So, yes, we're in her beautiful space here with one of her beautiful altars set up behind us here. And Marci is a ceremonial master. Has traveled the world and continues to travel the world. She's got a little bit of a temporary grounding time here in Bali before she sets off.
Global citizen journey right now, serving wherever I feel called to serve. And that's part of us also being in our light, is being at the fullest level of prosperity and abundance, our worthiness, to go wherever we feel called to go, do whatever we feel called to do with whomever we feel called to do it with. And hence we're sitting right here enjoying all the bliss and the magic.
Here we are. So, and it's eclipse today as well. So a lot of energy, a lot of magic.
Even more so.
And we're in Bali. And
we just had the solstice too.
And the solstice just happened.
Lots of energy happening right now.
Bali's just, I'm just realizing more and more how ceremonial it is here. It's just constant ceremony every day.
It's actually such a, it's really beautiful to reflect on how they're so ceremonial, and it's such so much, just it's so part of their way of being, you know? So,
it's been amazing. Coming from the States where it's a little more isolated ceremonial events happening, and then come here and it's just
every day, there's full-on offerings they're going to do in front of your doorstep and for the space and the field, and it's really beautiful.
So I wanted to share with you all some of Marci's magic and her ceremonial magic that she brings.
Cool. We'll see what this looks like.
And you know, and there's a lot more here that I'm learning about Marci and what she does and her gifts and skills and magic, and how she holds this light, and she integrates really angelic realms, the realms of the gods and goddesses, this pure light, and works with the plant medicines a lot. And so she's bridging these worlds, and she's gone through fitness. She's been a fitness instructor. She's worked with all sorts of executives, business people.
Isn't it funny the range that we get to go? This is why we aren't stagnant beings. We are very vibrational, meant to always be. You know, people looked at who I am now, known as like the alchemist of light, and a spiritual teacher and guide. And yes, I've traveled the world with enlightened masters and been in things all over India, and I started as a nutrition fitness expert. I was actually a personal trainer. Before that I was a waitress. And I found out my former, I say former instead of ex, my former husband had cheated, and my boys were 1 and 4 years old, and it was like I was in the depths of my lows. It was like, what can I do to feed my children and still raise them? And it was be a waitress at night. And so, at 28 years old, I became a waitress. And starting on more of my evolutionary journey, I actually been really deeply in the inner game and consciousness. Like, it's been my passion for the past 20 plus years. Yet, I saw how years before that it was very surface. And so I thrive off of bringing the depths of what real, true inner alignment is. Versus the surface self-empowerment a lot of us can start to do, and then but our lives aren't really changing. We stay stuck in these cycles. And I was definitely studying those things for a while, and it didn't really shift and change till I was called forth with that beautiful activation with my former to lead me into the greater depths of my truth and my knowing. And so I went from being a waitress to doing personal training on the side, and then as I started activating and beginning to bring forth the awareness of who I was and the gifts that I had to share, I became the body mind mentor on TV. I ran a 90-day mind body transformation program. It was very heavily like mindset plus fitness, on how to align to the body, and then evolved to the Fuck Yes Life mentor, or the Rapid Ascension Catalyst. And here I am years later as the Alchemist of Light, a spiritual teacher.
Right.
So,
Right, the journey going.
it is. It's like, you know, I could have never seen this, and it's just so beautiful. It is.
I love it. I love it. When do you feel like when and how did ceremony, the idea of ceremony, start to like enter into your life and become a foundation for you?
Well, I mean, I would say when plant medicine really came into my world, I've been known also as $1 million coach. I've worked with some of the biggest businesses in the world, coaching them in coming into alignment. And, you know, so many leaders around the world I felt called to serve that were like, everyone wants that have it all experience. And, you know, to triple their income. But it really comes from all the internal alignment of my level of worthiness, just as I said in the beginning. We're worthy of being these beings of light. That, of course, when we know we're light, we're so worthy of being supported in every way.
Right.
By me living in my luxury, my bliss, and fully supported, I am much more of a creator to serve and support the world. And then I have the abundance to do the philanthropy projects I desire, to go wherever I feel called to go. So it was a lot more mindset, and then I moved into the emotional feeling centers of the body, knowing and understanding that. But when it was probably, I'm like, I don't live in time, so when was this? I got called over to and guided. I followed the energy where I was called to go for my own growth and immersions, and I got called over to Europe, and I started diving into some sacred portal work, and it was like DNA activation, cellular cleansing. That started to open up my field to connecting to all of the angelic realms, the ascended masters, our guides, teachers, the gods, goddesses, and deities of light. So that was kind of first starting to become aware of connection to that, and like it being a very sacred space, being very in reverence. And then I'm even trying to remember which one came first, but plant medicine, when I got called forth to work with plant medicine, was one of the greatest teachers, one of the greatest catalysts I've ever experienced was plant medicine, and the spirits and the teachers within the plants that open and activate, awaken our DNA, open our neural pathways, activate our gifts, cleanse and clear all the trauma in our cells, and that just catapulted my life. And it's interesting, as I get interviewed a lot or asked a lot on the spectrum of money, and like, you know, how I became $1 million coach and all these things, and I was like, guess what? Grandmother ayahuasca, abuelita, she told me literally there was in ceremony that she called me forth to offer $1 million coaching. And that there was 5 people in the field that were high level leaders that were meant to do big things for the world, and it took that level of investment in themselves, because we know that the law of parallel returns is wherever you put energy, you receive back. So if I go to the gym and I work out my body, I receive energy back in my body. If I invest in myself and my level of alignment for, you know, abundance or the service, the gifts I give, then I receive that back. And so we have this comfort zone of what we feel safe in, and so it's like the level of investment that you put in yourself to like move beyond that comfort zone. And so when we've invested a lot in ourselves, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna breathe, and I'm gonna lean in, and I'm moving through this, and I'm shifting and transmuting that comfort zone to expand to so much more. So yeah, and it was so even though, you know, a lot of the results that I have in life, they all attribute to just coming into alignment with my spirit, my soul, my gifts, my capabilities, and listening and awakening and opening all that. So it was really grandmother who told me, like, and within 30 days I had my first $1 million client, and that, you know, shifted the next level of game for me. So, but since plant medicine, and since I really started to understand all the support we have, you know, and you have opened my awareness and expanded my ability to see even other dimensions and realities that I didn't even know were there as well. Totally expanded my parameters. I was like, no wonder I saw dragons and fairies dropping in, and now I have more of a reference point of working with that. And so we did a whole show on that, which is divine on my show. So but ceremony now for me it's almost like my life shifted to becoming life is ceremony. India was a massive game changer for me as I traveled to India, and then I got called back several times. I run retreats over there, and as I got to be with enlightened masters who just expanded my world, it really became like I shifted from, you know, kind of like the $1 million coach to I didn't really give a fuck how much money I made. I was like, all I know is that I feel when I'm in service, I am always supported and taken care of. And it just became such a sacred connection to all things, to all people, to all beings, to all experiences, to come into peace and alignment with myself. Like peace is my highest priority. So it's almost like life shifted to become ceremony.
Yeah.
Yet the way that we bridge that, because I really feel like part of my gifts is bridging the multidimensional with the human.
Right.
And you know, from everything from working with the earth elements and Pachamama and these sacred medicines, and these are my teachers, as well as these are my teachers. And I'm human, and bringing that together where so many people either are really woo-woo cray-cray, I'm speaking to angels, but they don't know how to be human.
Right.
And then they're struggling in relationships and how to support themselves financially in these things.
Yeah.
And then there's also the people who are just focused on the human behaviors and don't realize we have access to so much amazingness and magic and support and all of our multidimensional capabilities.
Yeah.
So ceremony, and going into ceremony with medicines and going into sacred space to learn to code into the field, which you're a Jedi at, like, you know, the codes that come through, was when I realized how effortless it can be to code our reality, to code our experience with our body, to literally like, and these experiences, they are ceremony, and I mean, it's not to say that you have to be working with plant medicine. I believe once you open and activate those things, you know, you have access to them. Yet just creating sacred ceremonial space and being able to activate these parts of me is when, you know, I could see the energetic quantum field. And then I realized, oh my gosh, as I speak out, wow, I can see how then that's captured and it goes all over the planet, and the universe effortlessly supports me in bringing forth the details as I'm just, you know, being in that vibrational match. So yeah, so that's kind of when it started to come into my world, and now I'm like, I don't have a separation with it. It really is. You, when you showed up, I was sitting in front of the altar. I coded in this experience in the field, and it's like my life is now as sacred as ceremony.
I love that. I love that. That's the goal of the show here, is to bring that to people, to like help them see that their life can be a ceremony, that their life can be magical, and how to
magic and miracles
reconnect that,
everywhere.
reintegrate all that and all the dimensions and what's sacred and empowering, right, for them to uplift themselves and get into space of where they feel like they can reclaim their power over their reality and their experience and their alignment with that.
And I
energy.
feel like maybe bringing this into awareness for people is sometimes we can think, I know I did when I didn't feel as comfortable with talking to angels or how to channel or invoke. I remember like I had one of a spiritual teacher that I went down to, did a lot of channeling, activating work in the mind temples, because I was like, I felt scared to open that channel. I felt scared to invoke. I just didn't know. And so it seems outside of us, and when I realized, it was as simple as me saying, hey, Archangel Michael, can you come and grid the four corners around me to, you know, protect the field with the ultraviolet flame of protection energy? And I could just speak to, and it just felt, like it was outside of me. And what I come to realize is it's all available, and everyone is just in, like, imagine that you've got these, you know, angels hanging out above, and they've got like these buckets of gold and gifts and blessings, and they're like following you around, like above you, and they're like, just ask, and they're just waiting for you to ask for them to, like, and because we are sovereign creators. And so, you know, whatever we are vibrating and looking for and attuning to is available to us. And so it's like the moment when I realized, why wouldn't I just ask for this support? And so I want to bring it into context that it can be as simple as it doesn't mean you have to have an altar. I mean, this is my traveling altar.
It's a little one.
This is what I travel the world
with.
Seriously, it's a surrender experiment of all the things that I travel the world.
My altar was like this big, so.
But it's because it has become such a sacred anchor of space. And with the work that I do, if you know, I have people coming in to do a VIP with me, or if I'm running a retreat or experience, like, you know, even if I go do a one-day experience, I have like a certain pieces that I activate and code the field with. So it doesn't mean that you have to have an altar. And you can start building up a sacred space by just picking one thing that calls to you. If there is, you start to hear a certain, like, Isis or Lakshmi, or you hear, or dragons, and something starts to come in, start to be like, okay, like, interesting, like, how can I start to connect with that energy and get, where's your dragon ring? You have your dragon ring?
Dragon ring. And you haven't seen this.
No,
I got
this
a new
is the
dragon
new one.
bracelet. I just got here in Bali.
So it's like you can start to, I mean, I'm wearing the Ankh. I'm wearing the Ankh.
Just notice the Ankh.
It's like, but these symbolizations that you can start to, you know, maybe put in your space and start to just sit with and connect. And know that ceremonial space can be just, I mean, angels love when you light a candle and you just create like say, like I open the field for a sacred space. So even to just light a candle and say, I now open, you know, I open the portal for ceremonial space, and you just get to like create a feeling of sacred reverence, a place where you can go. And what I love about, you know, having an altar, a place that you can go as you start to practice this, is you can put, you know, you could say that you're working on a project. You know, as I was writing my book, I would like then, if I felt like kind of like just energy coming in around, I would just leave my project and my book on my altar for a blessing. You know, it's like there's so many aspects of it, and all of that, though, this is my point, all of that's ceremonial.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be that I go to you know, a medicine ceremony, or I go to I mean, kirtan is ceremonial. Everything can be ceremonial. Your ecstatic dance, it can be ceremonial. Like your everyday experience can be ceremony. It's actually what I, you know, would love to open up the field of understanding for people, is that it's how much connection can I create to every experience I'm in.
It's like connections, presence,
right,
awareness, bringing in the reverence into it.
So it's like, if I'm going to go move my body in ecstatic dance, can I connect fully to my body and to the music and the sound and Pachamama beneath me, and like feel the gratitude for my body that it moves, and feel like the connection to the sacredness of me. That can be ceremonial. Just as much as I can go down into the jungles and be completely off grid and work with the medicine and you know, be completely activated, that can be ceremonial. And for me, a lot of days, it's you know, I listen to when my body's calling for it. But I work with Hape quite frequently, and like I'll sit in front of my altar, and I have specific things that I go through to open up the space and to connect with the medicine and to call forth and code in what I'm asking it to do for me. And that's ceremonial. Yet you can start wherever you're at. It's you know, beautiful scene here in Bali too. Like we said, it's I feel like it's reweaving it in and finding your own ways, your own methods, what works for you, what excites you, what connects you in with the magic of it all, and then start incorporating that, start weaving it into, even just like the meals. I mean, I know in America we sometimes do our prayers. A meal is ceremonial
like,
for me.
Bring that ceremony, right?
How can I,
experiencing the food in a way, blessing the food, blessing the space with whoever you're with, like just connect and bring that reverence in to even, you know, I got on the scooter today, and the taxi driver, he pulled off kind of quick, and I was like, all right, let me just ceremonialize this and bless this space and put it around and protect it, right? And just hold this field. So even just that, like, you know, it'd be easy to do those things and just be in the action of it, I guess, to say, without like
it's normal. So I was raised in a very extremely religious environment, and it was very much like prayer is just what you do, and it was like these are the things you say, this is what you do. When you're actually with me in experience, and just in my life, you see me as like we pull out food, I always like put my hands over it and I do a little thing. And when I'm in retreat space with people, and they like, it's like they can see the codes that actually exist or what's possible. And so with my food, I do fun things where like I'll either sing to it, or I'm always like, I thank Pachamama and Gaia and all the plants and animals and people that participate in creating it. And I literally code in my food that everything that enters my system becomes a frequency of the highest vibration of divine light. And that everything in my system is of the highest nutritional value, and that everything else is released back to Gaia. And it's like, I'm encoding my food to be light. And then, so think about every bite I take and everything that's in my system, that's what's available to us. That's why even that prayer, whatever you call it, even giving it direction and speaking into it, you're using this energy and this vibration, that's then creating a whole, so much support for you and so much support for your system and everything. And that's actually available. That is ceremonial. That's
it's just like programming, right? Just like computer programming, the reality with your light, your intention, and giving it specific directions versus just being sort of at the control or the outside.
Or just thinking that you're separate from life in any way. Like, I'm separate from my food. I just made food and I'm gonna eat my food. Instead of actually how connected can I be to this every bite of food. And the more that I activated all of my, more and more of my being, as I'm still activating all my being, it's like the more access I saw to like the lusciousness codes. The more I opened up my lusciousness codes, my sensuality codes got activated, that it's like every breath of air is like, every breath of air can feel orgasmic. Every bite of food. And that's why, like, I did my own journey day yesterday. It was actually Christmas yesterday, right? And so it was like, I did my own journey day yesterday after I went and did a waterfall cleansing. And it was like, I had this bowl of fruit and I took a bite, and the bite was so divine. it was like, oh, I just had to put down my fork and just sit with it in my mouth and like orgasmic and just, and it's like going from how much we don't realize that we have that, or that we're so disconnected from it. When we do, we shovel our food in, we're looking for feelings. Yeah, we're on autopilot versus when every single thing, if you can imagine how blessed and orgasmic and fulfilling and satisfied life can be when everything is sacred, when everything is ceremonial, everything is just like, ooh, like as you wake up and it's like, oh, thank you, universe, for another glorious day. And like all of our processes are ceremony. And so it's just really coming into full connection with it. For like in the morning when I wake up and I do my breath work and I do my chants and I do the things that like whatever feels good as I move my body. It's like I'm just moving through the day fully present in the connection of what I'm experiencing. And that's why we live in timelessness. We're literally like, we're always like, what day is it? What time is it? Because we're just living in bliss and flow. So, you know, it's like ceremony is just creating the sacredness of you, or maybe coming to full presence with all it is, all that's around us and available.
I feel like we're bringing more of ourselves into it, right? So whatever it is that you connect with love, you know, whether it's angels or fairies or, you know, sunshine or certain foods,
the energy of Amun-Ra, the codes of Amun-Ra and the sun,
those are your aspects, right? Those are things that resonate with you, excite you, empower you. So the more you draw that into more of your life versus isolating, like, okay, I just connect with angels in my meditation. Like, no, let me bring them into my riding while I'm driving, while I'm eating. And that's bringing more of that spiritual connection, spiritual energy, that reverence, and keep you connected with that throughout the day.
Yeah, and I'll share with you, this is, you know, this came through years ago as I started working with more angels and Ascended Masters started coming in. And I had this vision I saw of, like, literally, like I was being directed by one of my higher self guides, and it was like seeing these concourses of angels standing in front of me. And it was like, again, they're just waiting for your direction. They're all here to serve and support. And I was like, really? And they're like, first off, they were like, they love appreciation. You know, it's like I said, they love the candle to be able to love appreciation. So I was given directions like, first thank them. Like, thank you for being here. Thank you for serving and supporting in, you know, this mission, this purpose that I have. And then to give them direction, I just asked all the angels, I said, please go gather all the beings that are seeking their liberation, their freedom, their divinity, their remembrance, their a life they love, the remembrance of who they are. Please go gather those beings and bring them to us with ease and grace. And then I saw all these lights pop up, like I saw the world in the background, and all these lights pop up, and all of a sudden all these angels went whoosh, and dispersed and gathered the lights, and I just saw them brought forth. And so I code in all the time. I work with the angel Eurotel that even code in that every message I share, whatever my team is posting, sharing, doing, anything content I've created, my book, my show, everything that I create, every message I speak, everything I write is encoded with the frequency of divine unconditional love. That when people receive it, and see, I see it as I'm like, we complete our projects with ease and grace, and I see us sharing, and it just spreading across the world as we share with ease and grace. I see it then received by the world with ease and grace. That when people receive, they hear a message. And we've seen a reflection of this. There was the other day, one of the memes that we have, like, had a sacred geometry and just Sundar, and it was a little message, and literally people were like, I felt a shift looking at that. I felt a frequency. I felt the resonance of love from that. So I've encoded in that when whatever we create is people open up like a warm bonfire to their soul's remembrance, go, and then they're called forth. Now, whether that be they come work with me or any of the things that I have or not, I don't really care. I'm not attached. I'm here to anchor the light and share the light. And so then it's like, but that's available to us too. I mean, how cool is that? And when if you realize that whatever you put out with anything that you're creating is going to create your experience. However you choose to respond is what you get next. And so it's like, if you're putting something out and you're feeling nervous about it, or fear or anxiety or worry, or maybe it's not enough, or is it going to be good enough, you're literally putting that out with that energy. And hence people are like, no, not good enough, I don't want anything to do with it. And that's the perfect thing for you to still heal within and love, to give you that evidence. But when we go within and we can tune into why those things feel that way and alchemize, ceremony of ourselves is alchemizing things and transmuting it to light. And then we can say, this is, I'm so excited to see what happens with this. I'm so excited for the people I get to receive, or how I get to share. I'm so excited to see what this guides me to, if, you know, each step. And that's actually put out with it intentionally. That's why it's really becoming intentional.
Right.
That everything is intentional and everything is sacred. That's such a bigger, different frequency that you're putting into it, as well as what it happens with that in the world, than if you're just like, okay, it's just me. And that's really what we're sharing and speaking to is it's so much more than you.
Right.
There's so much more available to us that we can bring forth and have support us, and that we're connected. And that's the journey of coming to our complete wholeness, which is allness with all things, wholeness with we are all whole, right? So when I realize I am so fucking connected to the earth that is here, and the plants and the spirits and the angels and the everything, I can simply then like receive and utilize that support and know like, wow, I'm so supported by the universe. And part of my mantras that I speak into is that I joyfully serve the divine in humanity while constantly floating in a state of bliss, receiving all I desire and require. And I say that the universe and divine is setting up all the details for me, taking care of all things as I just float in a state of bliss. And I can see myself like held, like I'm being carried like a and I'm being held like this as the universe is going ahead of me. It sets up the places for me to stay, it sets up the guidance for things to happen, all taken care of. And that's sacred, intentional ceremony every day.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. That's beautiful. I love that. It's like you're putting your intention, your codes, and your magic in everything. So it's directing it out. So it's like a more powerful wavelength, right, of energy behind it as it goes out, and then people get to receive that. So they're receiving not only the physical content, like the social media post or whatever, but they're receiving that energy, the code, the frequency there, that love. That's going to hit them and probably penetrate into something that's like deeper in their soul.
Awaken something, or trigger something that needs to shift their world and their and this is behind that. What's really true is you are the magic. Right. So it's like, instead of, it's like, okay, if I can code in my magic or I can use these things, the truth is when you realize you are the magic, your frequency is like, that's why my frequency and being in a frequency of peace is my highest priority. Because I know if I'm like, I choose to be in peace at all times, if there's anything that I'm not at peace with, it's teaching me what else inside me gets to be healed and loved, what are the triggers there, what else gets to be transmuted, so I can be at peace in that situation or with that experience, and I alchemize and heal, then I'm at peace. And so it's like nothing can really fuck with me. I'm choosing, I find what gets to be alchemized to peace. And so in that, what became a huge awareness for me is that more so me being in that vibration, wherever I am in the world, if I'm completely off grid, I'm not sharing or doing anything, my frequency being in peace is spreading and transmuting and creating more for the world than if I'm running around in a lower vibrational frequency with my head cut off, trying, forcing, fighting, striving to do this so that I can have that, and see those are all lower vibrational energies. And so when we realize I am this glorious being of magic and light, and so of course I'm so supported with all these things and I can just be intentional about. So there's another layer of separation where before it was like I'm doing this thing and we don't realize all the support we have. Well, then you realize you have all the support. How can I utilize all the support? But beyond that is like, actually I'm already so whole and complete that I don't even need to call on that. I'm actually being I am the worthiness. I am the thing that is so fully worthy of all this, that of course like I'm connected to all these things that can support me in an even more. Yeah. You're
rising up to your divine state of your divine connection and feeling the light emitting from you and coming back to that's
the frequency.
There.
That's why my intention has been that everyone I interact with feels a frequency of divine unconditional love. So that's what I mean by like when I'm just choosing to be this frequency, I'm actually emitting that all the time. Now, how much more powerful and magnified is it as I'm like, I know that I'm worthy as a light being and I'm so fully supported. Let me call in and speak to and encode all these things and intentionally see and feel these things, and everything is just even more fucking effortless and easy. And that's why like easy is a choice. Easy, it's like life is as easy or as hard as you want to make it, because it's based on the perception you choose. If I see like, wow, it's so easy because I can speak, and then I see the field taken and it sets it up for me, and I call in all these things and I work with all these things that just support me, like that's so easy, versus me thinking that I'm all alone, that life is hard, why is this happening, and like the perceptions that I choose and the beliefs that I'm looking for are making my life, creating my own suffering, basically.
And those are all like veils, right? It's like, okay, things are hard, or I'm separate, or I'm alone. We're creating these locks.
We're creating the greatest lie, which is separation.
Right.
Separation from you as source, from you connected to all things, from all the support that we have. That is the lie that we are separate.
Right.
And it is creating our own suffering to believe those kind of lies and to separate ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the dance we all get to play. Do you want to go in the separation game or the connected game?
Yeah.
What do you find's been the best, or the way that's, I won't say easiest, but has helped you just keep in that connection, stay aligned with that, and shift right from old paradigms?
Well,
I'm sure there's a bunch of things.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many. I mean, totally. Like we can never make a mistake. So when we again see we are perfect and divine, everything in front of us is for us, and so it's like, what is this for? What is this interaction for? When I even know that I've created every single interaction I've ever had. My highest self created and designed everything with my guides and such, to be like, okay, let's map out this experience. So when I see that as sacred, every single person I interact with, it's like, what is this here for? What am I here to give? What am I here to receive from this? And also I see the truth and reality of what it is. So our understanding, right? The more that we allow ourselves to expand into the possibilities and realities of like what is possible. When I understood that, I was like, all right, so I can now choose to see each moment as this is for me. And that was a practice, instead of feeling like a victim or like life was against me or anything like that. And so it's like practicing how to, if we make it easy, it's like, how do I feel good?
Right.
Like, what is the most nourishing for my soul? What would feel good right now? Because truth will set you free and lies will always feel heavy. So there's a lot of things that I teach in my programs of like helping people like take, like my 5 steps tool is the main one, where it's like helping people go from anything that doesn't feel good, how to go into what's unconsciously operating, what's the underlying frequency or the belief system, how to move through it and alchemize it and change it to be able to move forward in love and light with it. And so it's our I would say our own growth and our journey, yet rituals or ways that you can support yourself with practicing a new way of being. Because all we're all really doing is we're just practicing. We're just practicing ways of being human. We're practicing ways of being our angelic selves. We're practicing ways with our gifts. We're just practicing. And so it's like, okay, well, what will support me the most is every time I go through an immersion and I go through new experiences and I receive new understanding or codes, you're like, all right, this is micro alignment is not in alignment with your life, because this thing over here, that's actually an energy of separation or an energy of rejection or okay, I see. I get to actually bring that into alignment so I can receive the next level of receiving, because whatever is in resistance beyond it is what I get to receive. But I get to transmute that so that I am open to receive what's ready to be revealed. And so when I do that and I get, like right now, I'm called to a whole nother level of expression. So I had like my show dropped in a year ago, and so that's been a whole nother level of expression. Recently, in working with some medicines, it was like my voice started to activate and that I got to sing and express another way. So it was like, what am I called for? It's like, all right, I get to practice singing every day. I get to practice using my voice. So I kind of like make a list of like, these are the things I'm committed to practicing every day. Now, I don't operate from a place of shame or blame or have to, so it's like, I have it in front of me, like, hey, did I sing today? Even if it's a little bit. I put up, and you guys are gonna laugh, this is like in front of in my bathroom, so I see it every time I'm in the bathroom, and I remember this little song is like, every little cell in my body is happy, every little cell in my body is well, and just silly songs, right? And so it's like, can I be practicing singing? And the other thing I was called to do was, okay, so for me to activate this more, I got to set up a singing coach, which so I set that up. So it's like, see how we when we can go, okay, is it my morning routine? My morning routine is sacred to me. My evening routine is sacred to me, because I'm cleansing my etheric body and I'm coding into my nighttime space, my dream space. Everything that gets to happen is then what happens is by the time I wake up, it's already been all designed by the universe, and it shows up effortlessly, and I start my day in my certain rituals that open up my body and my system. So those are ways that I stay connected always to the truth of who I am, the greatest of who I am. I don't wake up and just go like, it's like I'm like, ooh, what would feel good, and let me do these things that I know bring me to the fullest awareness of myself. So whether you're someone who is like, okay, how can I start? Can I start with when I get up, I'm going to just take a few minutes and I'm going to set out my intentions, or I'm going to like see the day, or I'm going to do a little shakeout flow, etheric cleansing, or I'm going to sit in front of a sacred space, just sitting a couple times a day and grounding into just any space. But if you just sit with your eyes open, you're not trying to meditate, we train our nervous system to calm down. To just, okay, it's safe for me to just sit and be, and I'm worthy to just sit and be. And how much of us, I was in the past, like I didn't even know how to sit down in front of a movie back in the day because it felt like there was things I had to do. And now I don't watch it. I mean, this is the TV. It's hidden by the, yet that's a complete life shift and changes. Each little thing got implemented to be like, this is my new way of being. That I like to feel good, and I give myself opportunity to be in nature and to ground and to like tune into my system or communicate with my little girl. So there's plenty of little pieces and tools we all have that can, and we've got tons of those things to help start to implement that into your life. Yet it's just start adding in the practices, ways you can practice connecting, ways you can practice communicating more, the ways you can practice feeling more of your feelings, the ways you can practice like seeing speaking into the reality that you want. These are all just the practices to awaken and open up more of who you are, as well as stay connected fully to all that's available to you.
Beautiful. Thank you for all that.
Yeah.
You're so wonderful.
Oh, you are my friend. I love you so much.
Marci, Sundari, magic upon magic upon magic. Thank you for all those insights. So there's a lot of magic there, a lot of wisdom, a lot of light, a lot of guidance that we can bring into our lives. And that's what I want to encourage you in the show, right? It's just start practicing. As you said, how can I bring this practice into my life? Bring this practice into every area of your life, whether you're in a corporate office, you've got a family with a bunch of kids, wherever you're at. Anyway, she's been through it all.
I've got two boys myself,
So, and she's been able to bring these practices into her life and just make these radical changes and transformations and open up so much. So I want to leave you with that in this moment here, and we're going to transition into the next part of the show where we're going to bring you some of this magic so you get to witness. So get yourself comfortable if you have a sacred space or even just a comfortable chair. Get yourself ready and stay tuned here for the next part of our show. And I just want to say here, thank you so much for being here. I love you. So grateful for you.
Such a soul beloved in my life.
Yes.
I love you so much.
Love you. Honored to share you with the world here.
I'm so honored to be with you and all of it.
And where can people check out more of you as well?
The best way to follow me is Facebook. Just look at Marci Lock, because we're sharing all truths there. Instagram, it's Marci Lock Mentor. My show, The Awakened Being Conversations Create Change, which Aaron did an amazing, epic, so cool Jedi light channeling alien language awesomeness show. It's just marcilock.com/show.
Perfect.
So marcilock.com is a place where you can pretty much find anything now.
Great. Perfect. Thank you. All right. Blessings. Stay tuned here for the next part. We'll see you in a moment. All right, loves, welcome back. Thanks so much for tuning in to the second part of this episode. We are going to bring you a special ceremony here where you get to participate in the ceremony. We're going to share with you some of our magic, some of the ways we do ceremony, and then bring you in. So you're like right here, sitting here with us in the ceremony.
Get blasted with all the light magic and the codes and all the good stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So just get yourself comfortable. If you have any, crystals, sacred things that are important to you, feel free to bring that in and add that to the field. You get to add your own unique piece to it, and we're here showing you what's our magic, what we love, and letting that inspire what excites you and activates you. All right, Marci's going to start us off here.
Well, I've lit a candle, and I always like to say, with this candle of light, I now open this sacred ceremonial space. With the light divine, I am. And then I like to get some incense going, and just if you do have an ascended master or teacher or crystals or anything, I just like to give an honoring to all these beings that are here with us. And then just to create a
clearing of the space as well. You can use a chime. These are Tibetan chimes. You can chime each corner of a room to grid and activate the space, as well as we've already been doing sage. You can start doing sage and then this. But this is just to, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to hear this sound. With each sound, we're going to actually go over each one of your chakras and hear the nadis in your system, the sound activate and be alchemized to just clear and cleanse your chakras with the sound activated as we begin as well. So it's between both of us. So with our crown chakra, feeling the activation of the sound. Coming down over our third eye. Our throat. Our heart-centered consciousness. Our solar plexus. Our sacral. Letting them absorb in your system. Cleansing with the sage. This is our quick cleansing from sitting position, right? Yes.
Cleanse you.
Sage, everyone receive this beautiful cleansing as the field and the space around you is already energetically being cleansed. I'm going to call in Archangel Michael as well as our other archangels, those that you might be connected to grid the four corners around us with the ultraviolet flame of protection energy. That we can receive this field of protection with this ultraviolet flame, and through this experience, and that our bodies are effortlessly cleansed with the ultraviolet flame, cleansing and clearing out, moving any stuck Shakti or energy in our systems on the hour, as much as your body needs as it continues to process and integrate. In this space, we call forth that only those beings that are whole and healed and operating out of divine unconditional love and light already, that love us all unconditionally and are here to serve and support in your journey, your passions, your purpose, your pleasures, your expansion, your growth, your joys, that only those beings can enter into this field around us.
We call it Mother Earth, the planet itself, to come support you, to nurture you, to sustain you, to have all these energies integrate into your life, and integrate into your 3D reality, and integrate into your cellular structure of your body. Sustain this and let it flow through you consistently and constantly. Every way you move, every expression, every breath, every thought, every feeling is aligned and held in this divine form, in this divine context, beyond just the show. That you carry this with you as a eternally brilliant light, eternally brilliant flame flowing through your life. We thank Mother Earth and the realms, the deep realms of the earth, to support us and anchor our spirit here, our galactic selves, our angelic selves, our holy divine selves, to be here in this body temple. As we open these four directions, we open the four gates, the four kingdoms and queendoms of the holy elements to flow into us and support us here in this space, and also surrounding you and your space. There you have this family of light that's coming in around you to support you, this immense family, as Marci said, legions, it's concourses of these spiritual beings that are here to support you and hold you and flow with your highest vibration of the truth of your being, flowing into your reality, flowing into life, and activating not only you, but everyone that you express to, everyone you connect with, everyone you share with, just gets reconnected into this greater web of light.
And we call in and give direction now that each of you can experience a shift in your cells and into your very being, to the illuminated light body and being that you are. We give direction now to our cells, every atom, subparticle, electron of our being, through all space, time, dimensions, and all realities, to now be encoded with the frequency and imprinting of divine unconditional love, divine unconditional light, that you are so fully supported as all things are transmuted, that you receive health with ease, you receive your body effortlessly as a body temple connected to all the spiritual realms that you are, all the activation that you are, all the highest source consciousness codes. As you connect fully now, feel all of your chakras awaken up and come online as we connect fully to our highest self-consciousness, to our oversoul, to our guides, and connecting this source of consciousness all the way down into Pachamama, to Mother Gaia, feeling her heartbeat, feeling her breath, feeling her expansion of all the energy that she gives as she provides us with everything. And now coming up to our top crown chakra, feel the awakening, the activation now with this channel of light as we call forth Mother Mary to bring forth the codes of divine unconditional love. We call forth Lakshmi to bring forth the codes of abundance and prosperity. Om Shri Mahalakshmi Ye Namaha. We call forth Ganesha to bring forth the clearing of the pathway, to release the resistance, to clear the pathway ahead of us. Om Kang Kang Ganapataye Sharanam. And as these angels and these guides and gods and goddesses and deities light, as well as our fairies, our dragons, our elves, all the dimensionals that are open up to us to awaken and to be here with us, that those that are approved to be in this space can now give us these essence codes and these frequencies that we receive to activate all of our system. As we bring forth now in our opening of our crown to be able to receive the divine wisdom and understanding, to receive the highest self-consciousness that we are, and we decalcify our pineal gland with ease and grace. Now moving the attention onto our third eye, we open and activate and awaken our third eye, the vision. We give thanks and gratitude for this vision, this sight, this foresight, beyond the Maya, beyond the illusion, as we see the micro to the macro and align all things, as we see and activate our psychic abilities and opening of our third eye to see clearly the reality that we choose, to be able to see and code clearly all the energy, all the supportive beings that are around us, and all that is available. As we call forth the activation of our throat, as we bring forth Saraswati to open and cleanse and clear our channel, that we are fully expressed in our divine, unapologetic expression, that we are safe to be fully heard, we are safe to be fully seen, we are safe to be fully expressed, and we are supported in the fullness of our allness of our being as we express fully all that we are. We open and activate our voice and all of our multidimensional capabilities and the frequencies that our voice carries as we transmute this frequency throughout the planet of divine unconditional love and light, and the supportive gifts that we are here to give and the codes that we all carry. Bringing our attention down to our heart as we open and activate and awaken and expand our heart into heart-centered consciousness to receive the fullest level of love and light, how much more joy we can receive, how much more love we can receive as we feel the opening and activating of our heart to fully remember that we are love and light. Bringing our attention down into our solar plexus, our power center, as we come into the remembrance and the trust and the knowingness of who we are, as we remember our true essence, our nature, that bliss is our natural state of being, that success is our birthright, that we are the source of our own experience, calling forth the full creative power that we are, connected fully to be able to express fully all this power. And we connect fully now to our sacral, to our creation center, feeling the Kundalini rising and activating within Hardini, moving through all of these chakras now, coming from Gaia below, all the way through us to channel up into our highest source consciousness of light, that this Kundalini awaken as we create with such ease and grace. We receive the feelings and the emotions and all parts of us to be able to dance and play in the human experience. And bringing our attention now down to our root, feeling the groundedness, the connection to our human self, as well as to our multidimensional capabilities. We bridge the gap to all that we are, connected fully to Gaia, planted and firmly rooted to Gaia with every single step, as she fully supports us in providing all things that we require and desire. And feeling the left side of your body awaken and activate as we remember the wholeness of our feminine, receiving, the ability to receive, as we receive with such ease and grace, as we play and flow like water, as we dance around all things, and we are able to receive the information, receive the ideas, to be rich with the ideas that we have, to be rich with love, to be rich with joy, to receive all of the abundance and prosperity and blessings and magic and miracles, to awaken our sensuality and the lusciousness of every breath of life and every smile that we give another and we receive, to receive all that is available with ease and grace. And as we move into our activating of our masculine energy, that through aligned, inspired action that we receive through our feminine, we then take action through this inspiration to be fully supported, fully protected, fully provided for, and loved, to embody all of this into our being. It is spoken, it is done as we activate all of ourselves to feel this remembrance, this energy cleansing and clearing. We call forth Saint Germain to bring forth the codes of the crystalline plasma now activated within our systems, to upgrade our systems to the highest level of consciousness with the crystalline plasma, as we transmute the lower vibrational frequencies within our body to the highest vibration of divine light, that any and all things within our system, any resistance, any energy that is not of the highest vibration of our divinity, now be called forth to the energy of completion now, to be cleansed and transmuted to the highest vibration that is our divine light. Feeling this imprinting into our systems, into ourselves, through every space-time dimension reality, all lifetimes and parallel lifetimes, as this is transmuted out, that everywhere we go and everywhere we be and everything we interact with is transmuting in the field to divine unconditional love and light, that our cells are awakened to this remembrance of all that we are.
As your body awakens to receive all this, as you breathe in to receive all this, allow these light codes that I will share continue to support integration and the calling forth of all this here and now within you. Dia la tromba la cuore l'indre neruto quale gigeira totoroko contra la coco isana rocco tutto rocco toro cotrumina roto quende viene la tondra la co. Long have you been wandering without this light, without this consciousness, and now this is available to you again. It is waiting for you at your doorstep to re-enter into who you are. As you allow yourself to drop into your heart and allow the heart to open its gateway, its portal into yourself, into the depths of your soul, and allow the heart to express itself out into your world. You bring forth the gifts of your soul, of your divinity into your body, into your life, into your breath, into your smile, into your view, into your expression in this world. Everything that has been feeling like suffering or lack or limitation is now being alchemized into the gifts that have been suppressed underneath those, the gifts that can now emerge through you in every way, igniting the love, igniting the excitement, igniting the joy, igniting the passion, igniting the possibilities for you in your life, in your family, in your community, in your society, in whatever flows for you to bring that truth of your being into this world. With the trust and the knowing that everyone in this world and every aspect of this world has been awaiting for the emergence of who you are. With love and patience, for you to reveal the eternal glory that is you. And has always truly been you. And by you expressing your gift, you allow others in the world itself to express its gifts to everyone. And we all celebrate together in this infinite party, where our hearts sing in harmony. As a multidimensional family beyond the limitations of time and stories and fears. We re-emerge as eternal soul family, celebrating the glory of life itself, and celebrating the glory that is you, in the unique, beautiful radiant ways, you bring forth that glory. Ajatinda tatakanda tomdranavata dejanana kopandana potrandana katrandana kuwaza vatakisia janana konana. Breathe that truth into your being. This truth from other worlds, from the worlds of our soul, from the worlds of whence we all came.
With that, we call forth Kuan Yin to bring into your system, to flush your system now with the Kruna compassion waterfall of unconditional compassion. You feel the surge of all this energy that was just called forth. You feel the surge of all this awakening and enlightenment of the light body and being that you are as an illuminated divine light that is your divinity, that is your natural state of being. Feeling this waterfall of compassion flush through your system to cleanse and clear now anything in the field, anything system that is transmuting from all this activation that is being channeled to the highest vibrational light. We ask Archangel Michael to now cut the cords of attachments to any stories, ideas, programs, patterns, behaviors, beliefs from any lifetime experience from this or any parallel lifetime experiences, anything connected to in the body that is connected to any attachment with anything other than your highest vibrational light to now be cut and to be cleansed and cleared, washed away with the Kruna compassion waterfall, fully receiving all of this light activated in our systems as we receive the divine unconditional love of Mother Mary. We call forth the harmonization of our soul's light in the feminine and masculine balance, the twin rays of Lord Sananda, Lord Jesus, and Lady Nada, Mary Magdalene, of Isis and Osiris that bring forth these codes for us, to be able to harmonize all that we are, to alchemize all of these codes in our being, to awaken and to fully remember. Knowing that your system will continue to be flushed on the hour, every hour, with ultraviolet flame energy to cleanse and clear, as well as the Kruna compassion waterfall, and that you are held in a bubble of divine unconditional love and light as your body integrates and imprints with this new awakening in your cells, vibrating the highest level of light. As you move into integration, you receive the awareness from your highest self-consciousness of whatever in your field needs to now be acted upon through inspired action. What gets to be transmuted, what actions you get to take to completely shift and change and micro-align to this state of consciousness and to this state of your divinity. Whatever actions you get to take, that you be blessed and supported in the courage and awareness of exactly what gets to be done to continue to integrate into your life, operating from this highest level of consciousness where you are living in your highest state of bliss and joy. And if you feel your body needs to move in any way to shake out any energy here, to cleanse and clear as your body now recalibrates into the full awareness of who you are, letting your body move, letting your body shake, letting your body do anything you feel called to do to be able to move this energy, and then feeling the calm and the peace and the ease of all the support surrounding you and inside you now. This is always available for you. And we ask that any multidimensional, interdimensional, intradimensional thought forms or resistance energy all merge together and be transmuted and cleared energetically and to come to completion now. That we surrender all of this to the divine. We surrender all back to Gaia as compost for the planet to fully assist all of us in coming to this new earth frequency, new earth codes of our highest level of understanding. This all come to completion now. Transmuted into light. Breathing this in and letting it all go. Feeling your body vibrate, your cells vibrate with this light, with this new awareness and understanding of all that you
are. Just be with this all for a moment. In your breath, in your body, in your space. Allow it to flow through you. feeling how held you are and supported. How loved you are in every way. And feel this light just emerging out around you into your life, into your space, into every realm, every aspect of your experience in your life, your work, purpose, play, your family, anything, everything that is part of your life gets to be resonant with this new code of your being. Every part of your life gets to enter into the ceremony of your being, into the magic of your being. So it is. Shalom. Salam. Thanks to all these realms. Thanks to these beautiful alchemists of light. Marci Lock. Thank you so much for sharing your magic here.
Dimensions to wholeness, to the single parts of ourselves. For being such a reflection of truth and love.
Thank you at home for tuning in and joining us on the ceremony. May these blessings continue to flow into every area of your life. Make sure to check out Marci at marcilock.com and for their connection with me, aaronpyne.com. Thank you so much. Blessings to you, and hope to see you on the next episode of Ceremony, Magic, and Meditation.
Enjoy your integration.
Enjoy and drink some water.
Yes.